Welcome everyone out there to Ask Hypnotica 37. I am here with Sasha Day Game, who is probably one of I'd say probably the best in the world of teaching guys how to just to walk up to women confidently on the street and interact with them, get their name, number, and socialize like this. So he's actually staying here because we're working on some stuff for boot camp stuff that we're planning on putting together. He takes them out in the field, figures out where their fear areas are, and then I come in and do the brain stuff and get them all tuned up, so by the time they leave, they're A-okay. So I wanted to, since we're here and this question just came in, I said, you know what, let me pass that one to you, Sasha, because I think you'll be better at it. And basically the question comes in from a guy named Kieran, and he basically asked, like, when approaching women, how do I deal with the answer or the question that the women ask, basically like, do I know you? And let me just reframe the way, like, I'm not a big fan of the word. I'm very into semantics and linguistics. I don't like the word approaching. I like the word introducing than approaching, just because it's when you're approaching, like I'm up, like an airplane. It's like there's tension there. Introducing is very simple. It's very like you're introducing. You're accommodating yourself to another person in the world and finding out who they are, what they're about. So with the question, do I know you? I'm just going to pass it on to Sasha. Maybe he can say, hey, what's up a little bit, and give you a little bit more advice, because if you're going to walk up to women, he's the man to talk to.
I don't think I've been on your channel before, but hi, everybody. I'm Sasha. Nice to meet you. So I would say, for me, authenticity is the most important thing. Just keeping it real and being who you are, just becoming that better version of yourself who loves girls and is okay with it. So I would just say, no, not yet. That's why I came over. I'm Sasha. And that's it, because the truth is the easiest thing to do, right? Like, you're a man, she's a woman, you're attracted to her, you want to meet her. Why would you? Only if you're ashamed of what you're trying to do, which is introduce yourself to a beautiful girl. Only if you're ashamed would you get defensive and go, oh, what? Oh, well, no, you don't know me, but, No, I haven't met you yet. That's why I came over to say hi. I know most guys don't have the courage to do that, but when I see something that I'd like to do or someone I'd like to meet, I do have the courage to come over and introduce myself. What's your name?
Why?
That's it.
Like, why would you go up to a person? I just want to get a little depth into this.
Well, it depends. I always like to tell women why I like them. So if the answer is she has an amazing vibe, beautiful energy, I'd say you have an amazing energy. I wanted to meet you. Or you have an amazing fashion sense, and I knew you were different from other people. You were original. I wanted to come meet you. Or you're just sexy and you're fucking gorgeous, and I wanted to see if you had a personality to go along with that, sexy body or whatever. So whatever I'm thinking, I will say. I'm not going to censor myself. People who don't believe in themselves, don't love themselves, they're afraid. They're afraid of people, what people will think. But if you just don't give a fuck and you know what you want, go and tell her. It's as simple as that. What do you have to be afraid of?
Simple as that. And here's another idea that I want to offer you guys. Listen, women try to make women that are basically angry, mean, judgmental, they got shit going on in their lives, they're going to come across a little bit harsh. That's a reality that you have to deal with. And this is what I tell a lot of guys that are out there. I said, look, you have to be okay with being the hunter, okay? And the hunter, women don't have to hunt, okay? Women, like I said, just have to be there in, one of my quotes, getting laid for a man is a chore, getting laid for a woman is a choice for the most part, all right? So women will never understand this. This is why a woman, and this is going to sound a little sexist, but a woman will never be known as a suavito or a stud, more like a slut, because there's no challenge there, right? And the metaphor that I use is, you have two types of fishermen. If you have a fisherman who's a real fisherman, he's got to know his hooks, his lines, he's got to go out in the sea, he's got to understand the sea, where to go, how to hook it up, how to bait it. There is a lot of effort and knowledge that is involved with that fisherman going out there and bringing back a fish. Now, take out the fish part, because you shouldn't equate fish with women, and if you do, send her to the doctor. All right, so, but I just want to, it's a good metaphor. So you have this guy who's got to have all this skill, and sometimes, even he comes back empty-handed. A guy who's been in the ocean for 30 years that knows it, he may strike out. That's okay. The guy doesn't go, oh, I'm terrible, I'm a loser because the fish didn't bite today. It just happens. Now, you take a woman. A woman basically is like going to a fish farm. If you've ever been to a fish farm, it's where they just pack thousands of fish into a little area, and they pour antibiotics in there, and then you guys eat it later. But basically, you can throw anything in the water at any time, and a fish will eat it, because that's the way that they're tuned to. That's how a woman's reality is. So they're going to be, trying to make you feel bad and stuff like this, but you're a badass fisherman, okay? You're going to go after what you want, because it's an affirmation of you're going to go for what you want, because you believe in a reality that you want to create the best for yourself. And if that's out there and looks good to you, then you go out there and you do that, because that's what men do. All right, people that have been repressed or put down, they feel bad about it, they guilted by it, or the feminists, want to say, hey, don't do this. Think about this, okay? Everyone's seen that video where that girl's walking down New York, and guys were like, hey, beautiful, and she's all mad. Like, if I walk down the street and girls were like, hey, sexy, you look fucking, hey, stud, okay, I'd feel pretty good. So a lot of it has to do with the individual's mindset about where they're at in the world with people in general. So think about that. Like, imagine if the girls, if the feminists got what they wanted, all right, and they're walking down the street, and nobody flirted with anyone because it's inappropriate to walk up to a woman. Nobody did anything. Nobody gave eye contact. Nobody flirted. You know what? We'd be extinct really soon. Okay, so it has to happen. Don't feel bad about it. Feel awesome to the fact that you're one of those amazing guys that separates themselves from the watcher guys that sit on the sideline like, ooh, look at that hot girl. Like, tell more about that philosophy about what's the difference between the man who actually walks up to a woman because he goes for it and what you've seen in your coaching.
Well, I wanted to emphasize one thing. If you're having that, so whoever wrote this question and said, oh, what do you do if a girl says, do I know you? Do I know you? The girl's got attitude. She probably doesn't have men in her life that can treat a woman the way they actually want to be treated, which is like women. Usually women aren't having good sex if that's their attitude. Do I know you? Oh my God, a man's talking to me? Yeah,
you're paying for the guy's bills.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. So whenever you get any thoughts that are worrying you, what if she says this, what if she says that, focus on your desire as a man, like what do you want, and focus on your curiosity. And this is something guys get separated from. When you see a woman and she's beautiful, or she's just sexy, or she's got something about her, she's just walking super confident or whatever, you're curious about her. You don't just want to fuck her. You want to find out about this woman. I do. I don't just want to fuck girls. I want to know what their stories are, what they're like, and what's their personality like, and what are they doing in life, So if you focus on that desire and that curiosity, and you go over there and you're like, hey, you got my attention. I want to connect with you. Like, who are you? And they feel that genuine curiosity. That separates you from 90% of guys who either don't do anything because they're cowards, and they don't take chances, and they're basically not real men, or it separates you from all those guys to a guy who not only has the balls to come up to her, but who actually sees that, as a woman, you have respect for her. You're curious about her as a human being. You want to connect with her. And that separates you from all those other guys. Most guys will not take chances. They won't take chances with women. They won't take chances, quitting their shitty jobs and starting businesses, traveling the world, doing whatever they want to. Most people just live within the system. They don't take chances, and they have boring fucking lives. And women, if you don't have the balls just to approach her, you're not going to have the balls to protect her. Imagine she's dating you. If you don't have the balls to come up to her on the street and just say, introduce yourself, how are you going to have the balls where you're in the bed with her, somebody breaks into the house? What are you going to do then? You're going to climb under the bed like a little bitch, or you're going to go for the baseball bat and go down there and handle your business? See what I'm saying? If you don't have the balls to say hi, you don't have the balls to be with her. Period. So that's the first test. So if you can't even do that, you're out. That's the thing. That's the first test right there. You can't even come up to her. You're done. You're done. You don't deserve a real woman.
Yeah, and a woman's going to check you too. She's going to see like what you're made of. If she just says that and you walk away, you didn't have any chutzpah. You didn't have anything. So if she says, do I know you? And you say, no, I don't know you either, but nice to meet you. Like, there's a line right there. It confuses them. There's so many things you can inoculate against any of it. That's why I tell guys, like, take your worst things that you can imagine in your mind and be like, oh, you're ugly. And then inoculate against it. Just be like, well, that was a really ugly thing to say. Or, hey, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Obviously, you need to expand your ability to see beauty.
Looks like you need to get you some glasses, because I know I'm beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think I'll try that one. But, the point that we're making is if you inoculate everything where you actually look forward to the initial rejection, and you fire back with something that's thought-provoking, that can change a woman's mindset about you, because she has to be like that. She gets hit on guys all the time. It's like the same thing. When you're walking through a mall, these guys that come up to you is like, hey, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, and you can see them coming. Like, the girls can see you coming, so they're so used to it. You're like, oh, here comes this guy again, or someone knocking at your door to sell you something. They know, so they're going to throw that first one out there. In sales, everyone knows it's like, 5 or more rejections before you get the yes. You got to understand that, okay? And like I said, be proud of being a man, and stop listening to the leftists and the people that want to tell you don't enjoy yourself. Or it's bad to like people. It's bad to be social. Screw all that shit, man. So, hopefully I answered the questions. Is there anything else you want to say before we get back to business here?
There's only two types of guys. You guys that have balls and take chances. The guys that don't have balls and don't take chances. Which one are you going to be?
All right. With that, guys, it's Hypnotica 37, and we're out of here.
Peace.
Bang.